All right, welcome everyone to the Dave Cooper Live, where we bring you the people, the products, and the processes, helping us all to build it better. And today we kick off with the question, what is the team at MiTek doing to enable data-driven decision-making in the built environment? MiTek collaborates across the building industry to enable and accelerate transformational breakthroughs in design and construction, both on-site and offsite. With their software, services, engineered products, and automation, they are enabling owners, architects, builders, and manufacturers to transform the way they design, make, and build. Today, we discuss more than automated solutions for the building industry with Kristin Watson, Senior Vice President, Global Technology Development at MiTek. We're talking about better technology and better buildings. But before we get started today, we have to give a quick shout out to all of our awesome sponsors. So here's a few words for them, and please make sure you go and show them your support after the show. Stream Modular, the only logistics company you need to transport your mods, pods, and panels. Our friends at Stream Modular are investing $50 million over the next 25 years to build the technology, solutions, and trailers needed to handle and transport the projects of today and meet the demands of tomorrow. Reach out to their team at streammodular.com to discuss your next project. CombiLift is the largest global manufacturer of multi-directional forklifts and straddle carriers, a leader in long load handling solutions, offering a free warehouse and site optimization design service. CombiLift helps companies of all sizes and from every industry maximize the capacity, safety, and efficiency of their warehouse and storage facilities. A big thank you to Paul Short and the team at CombiLift for helping us all to build it better. Visit them at combilift.com. Brave Control Solutions, where offsite manufacturing systems that do more than just improve productivity. They have a unique approach to industrialized construction, a lineup of flexible automation systems specifically designed for the construction industry, empowered by CAD to Fab, and turnkey solutions for 3D volumetric assembly, structural insulated panels, finished wall assemblies, MEP component processing, assembly, kitting, and storage. Learn more at thinkbrave.com. All right, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. Again, if you're interested in being a sponsor of the Dave Cooper Live Show, just reach out to us. That's the only way we can continue bringing awesome people on this show like Kristin Watson. So without further ado, let's bring Kristin onto the show. Kristin, welcome.
Hey, thanks so much, Dave. What a great show to better building. This is fantastic. Thank you.
I love it. We are going to talk about better building it better, whatever we want to call it, as long as we're doing it better. And I know MiTek has a lot of history in making things better, not only here in the United States, but around the world. So super excited to hear about all the things that you have going on. But Kristin, before we get into it, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Do not leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital, or we may call your mother. And if she comes on the show, I'm sure it could get quite embarrassing. The floor is yours. Go for it.
Super. Thanks so much, Dave. Yeah, so I was brought up, dad was a mechanic and contractor, and mom was a nurse and midwife. So I grew up putting things together, from model cars to planning floor plans and organizing events, all kinds of different things. So no surprise, I studied mechanical engineering in college and mathematics, and started off designing medical devices, actually, at the start of my career, and grew from there, both designing as well as organizing and doing project management for new solution development projects. And then started getting into exploring innovation and new business opportunities. And a few years ago, got a call out from a friend of mine who I had worked with years ago, and said, "Hey, there's an opportunity at MiTek I think might suit you." And so threw my name in the hat, and here I am, excited to be part of MiTek and using the capabilities and expertise and experiences that I have for the building industry. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I also love the fact that you came from out of industry as well. You grew up in the industry, then you went in the medical device world. Have you know, I was a spinal implant rep for a long time. I used to
Oh,
train
very good.
spine doctors. Yes, that was me in the OR. So if your back doesn't hurt, you're welcome. I helped out on some of those, maybe. If it does hurt, it wasn't my surgery. Anyhow, let's get into this. We met at an SBCA event, BCMC. When you guys were there, you had this huge floor showcase of all the different products, automation, data, technology, machine equipment. But you guys were also helping to promote the house that she built, which you had a part of getting that book out to the world. So I just wanted to give you a big shout out. I think it's so important that you guys have done that. And I think people need to know that you had a big part in making that happen.
Yeah, it's just such a fantastic opportunity, Dave, to give visibility to young girls and the opportunities that are in this space. So
Yeah.
very glad to be part of that in a small way.
Let's talk about, what MiTek is all about and what your role in what your role in it is right now.
Great. Yeah, so MiTek is here to transform communities. So we want to address some of the challenges in the market by presenting opportunities, and advancing offsite construction and fabrication is really an area that we're leaning into to be able to address labor shortages, efficiencies, a lot of the challenges in the building industry right now. So I serve as overseeing the Global Technology Development Organization. So like it says, it's a global organization. So we have team members all around the world and focusing on developing technologies that will answer some of the problems as well as provide opportunities for a variety of people in the building industry.
What I love about this conversation is, and I think like a lot of other people, and we talked about this a little bit offline, is you really are a technology company.
Right.
It is not just about the plates and the connectors. There is so much more happening behind the scenes that you guys are trying to innovate and bring together for the built environment. And you're working with people and builders and developers around the world to come up with better solutions day in and day out. And you're fortunate enough to have a role in all that.
Yeah, it's so exciting. We like to call ourselves the structural engineering company expressed through digital solutions and equipment, services, things like that, that really expresses our DNA and our partnership with builders.
So why don't you tell us a little bit more about the company culture at MiTek? We found from our travels around the world and a successful company like yours that there's usually a really awesome culture that's happening behind the scenes that the rest of the people out there don't ever get to see.
Right. Yeah, no, MiTek has been a fantastic place. Really one of the best companies I've ever worked for, and focusing on really a vision for transforming communities and elevating building better. And that translates then to really opportunities within the company as well to contribute toward that vision and be able to do that in a way that we're good stewards of both our resources as well as our communities. We have a lot of team members that are involved in their communities, whether it's in schools or helping with other nonprofit organizations. So there's really a lot of camaraderie and focus on how we're going to help move things forward.
Yeah. So let's talk about moving it forward, right? The customers that you serve, what is the problem that you're trying to solve, and who are the customers that you're serving trying to solve these problems?
Yeah, so variety of different types of kind of building typologies, if you will. And so we see home builders and component manufacturers. So they're building the offsite trusses and things like that for the home builders. We also have a lot of solutions for the home builders themselves, as well as in more commercial spaces and multi-dwelling, working with architects, engineers of record, general contractors, and owners, so that we can provide a variety of solutions for them as well.
So when you talk about the variety of solutions, let's talk about these product categories just a little bit, because I think people really need to understand that, there's really 4 or 5 different verticals that you guys are focused on to deliver an end-to-end solution to the marketplace. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's right, Dave. So 4 different categories or tools, if you will. The first being engineered products or components. So the nail plate is an example of that. Another one being automation equipment. So saws and tables, large pieces of equipment that CMs will use to be able to help them build. The third category, digital solutions. So software that can design, software that can help home builders and contract manufacturers be able to run their business and be in their production, as well as managing their business practices. And then the fourth category is services. So we can provide an extension of our customers' business to be able to make them more efficient, provide services to be able to do engineering or project management, things like that.
So when you say the services side, I think that's super interesting. So you can become an extension of somebody's team, and they can leverage and work with people on your team if they need help designing, coming up with solutions for whatever they're building.
Exactly. And that we see that in a few different ways, whether it's just project based. They want help on a specific project to help manage the peaks and valleys of their work. We see that as something that is just an extension. So there are people that have emails for our customers' actual system. So they're literally an extension of their team. And we also have that in a managed function where we could assign a project manager to manage a team of engineers that are MiTek employees, but essentially performing work that our customers need to make them more efficient.
Now, is this something that you guys are doing just here in the United States? Is this around the world? Does it really matter where somebody's located to use these services?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We have
Yeah.
services all around the globe, from APAC to North America to EMEA. So
Love it. You talk a lot about data-driven decisions, at MiTek, and process. What does it actually mean to make data-driven decisions along with the processes that you're putting in place and developing?
yeah, so we've been implementing a variety of different processes just to be able to make the best decisions and make the best use of our resources and be able to have the highest impact for our customers. It's so easy for us to see a problem, especially technical folks, engineers. We see a problem, we want to meet that need. But we want to be able to step back and do some analysis. So every opportunity that either comes from the outside or internally generated, we look at what that means for, is it meeting an actual need? How big is that need? What is the potential impact of that, both for our customer and the industry, as well as for MiTek? And then we want to be able to use that data to be able to prioritize our initiatives so that we can ensure we're putting our resources on those highest priorities and having the biggest impact to the industry.
So yeah, so I got a question on this though, right?
Yeah.
The data. I mean, there's data that you collect, right, just as a company on product sales, innovation, things like that. But being that you are, collaborating with builders and developers around the world, how important is the data that they're giving back to you to help build these processes out?
Yeah, that's really key in understanding best their business, as well as how we can better fit them, right? So we're looking into how we can best leverage that data for their benefit, how we can help our customers be able to learn more about their business that they may not have internal engines to be able to do that. So how can we help them do that? And then how can that data be able to inform us as to what's going to be most impactful?
Yeah, and I say this all the time on the show, Kristin, that data is used in every other business industry around the world to improve. And we're really kind of behind the eight ball, as they say, and catching up and using this. And I think some people are scared of it, but data is the way we're going to move forward. We're going to drive technology forward, and people are going to actually take their business to the next level. I mean, look at what AI is doing, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's concerns with that, right? We want to make sure that we have secure and safeguards around that data. We certainly don't want to share anything from our customers to another customer, for example,
Yeah.
right? So there's ways to make that data useful in the way that it would be without kind of compromising their integrity of their businesses. So yeah, that's fair to be concerned about that, and we're addressing those types of issues as well.
Well, I love this topic because I think it's so important. Most people don't have the resources a company like MiTek has with all the information. So there's a real value add for both parties. And I think, one, maybe you could tell us a little bit, like, how is the data you're collecting being used to, drive safety, efficiency, productivity, profitability for companies? Because these are all the things that we're seeing others use them for. And I'm assuming that's what you're trying to help them be, is more successful. Because if they're successful, then MiTek's successful.
Exactly, Dave.
Yeah.
So with some of the aspects that you mentioned, safety is key. So we want to make sure that every one of the products that we put out are as safe as possible. But our main goal really is to help make them more efficient. So how can we come alongside and provide solutions and use their information or information that we have to help them make them more efficient, address labor shortage issues. That's why, we have a lot of pieces of automation equipment and software that helps them do things better in an efficient way, and be able to just help them improve as we improve as well.
A question that we get asked all the time is, well, what data should I be collecting as somebody out there? What do you tell? I mean, what are people missing that they should be tracking, collecting, that most builders, developers are not doing, or manufacturers?
Yeah. So there's things that would be helpful for them, right? As far as demographics or types of business that they have. But there's also things even from a maintenance of their equipment and their assets. What's the typical cadence of maintenance? Can we prevent downtime, right? And catch things ahead of time so that you're changing out that bearing or whatever it is ahead of when it would be predicted to fail.
For sure.
Are there other efficiencies in how fast they go through their process, or what types of projects are giving them the most return? So there's so many different opportunities.
There definitely is. And if you guys are out there watching this live or recorded, what data should you be collecting? What are you missing out there? What are you collecting that we may not know about? We'd love to share it with everybody so we can build it better. So if you have a comment on that, go ahead and put it in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to talk about it should time allow. How big is MiTek? How many employees do you guys currently have? And how many people are using all the different products?
Yeah, so we have over 5,000 people across the world.
Wow.
Many of that are in the services part and providing services to our customers. Another large portion is in our plants, making the equipment, making the plates for our customers. And then we have about 450, 500 people in technology development, looking at new opportunities, staying up with the building codes so that we can provide up-to-date information and support for our customers, and looking for new innovative solutions that would be beneficial.
Yeah. And how many customers around the world does MiTek have? I mean, is it even countable?
Yeah, I don't know that that I could count that, because there's a variety of different ways that we have customers and different ways to slice it, right?
Right. Well, how about a better question? What challenges are your customers facing today? Has there been a shift in the last few years? We had pandemics, we got financial, crisis with, products going up and down in the market all over the place, or you can't get things. So what is your thoughts? What has MiTek seen as some of the issues that your customers were facing?
Yeah, certainly we saw supply shortages. We all experienced that over the past few years with the pandemic, right? We're seeing that waning, which is helpful. We're still seeing labor shortages being key, and that's a lot of what's driving our solutions to be able to provide answers to that and help our customers be able to deal with it, whether it's just labor shortages or skilled labor shortages, whatever that is. Um, we're also seeing increased need for answering some ESG questions. So, what
Yeah.
does sustainability mean? Some of our customers saying, "I need carbon tracking metrics to provide to the government, especially in EMEA." So, there's a variety of different problems and challenges that are evolving over time as well.
Sure. And what about ESG? Let's talk a little bit further about that, if we could, Kristen. From my tech's position and what you guys are doing in your culture, how are you actually, I guess, taking this head on?
Yeah, so we're looking at it from a variety of angles. One is just as a company, being
Yeah.
responsible as a company, right? And doing the best we can to provide both sustainable solutions and how we do our production and manufacturing sites. Then we're also looking at what can we provide our customers. We're just seeing there's a whole variety of ways that this really manifests in both questions as well as issues that some of our customers are challenging. Like I mentioned, carbon tracking. That's something that some governments are asking for specific information on. Then there's sustainable housing. That might mean one thing in one area and another thing in a different country, perhaps, as far as what sustainable housing means. So trying to both learn along with them, but also try to be ahead of that too, so we can provide solutions that are helpful.
Yeah, for sure. And what about growth of the company? Where are you guys seeing growth? Not just for MiTek, but your customers around the world. You mentioned kind of it's global, right? And depending on where
Right.
you live and what country you live in, the governances are all a little bit different. But can you speak from a geographical level as well as a product and service level in terms of the different segments of the MiTek business and where you're seeing like software services, engineered products, automated solutions? Where are you growing? Is one section growing faster than another?
So we're seeing a lot of demand for automated equipment to address the labor shortages. So that's no surprise, as well as services, so that we can be an extension and help them be more efficient. Geographically, we saw the huge boom. Everybody really saw that during the pandemic, the challenges as well as the building. We are seeing the market slow a little bit, but it's actually recently looking like it's not a nosedive, certainly just plateauing a little bit. So keeping an eye on that, and also noticing the differences
Yeah.
in building typologies and different methodologies that we see across the globe, and differences in different regions as well, and trying to leverage best practices because we do have the global view, leveraging those best practices from our team members all around the world.
Sure. And you mentioned typologies and methodologies. Can you elaborate on a few of those?
Yeah. So single family, of course, still strong, but slowing a little bit. We see in North America as well as in other regions. We want to be able to provide more in multi-dwelling,
Okay.
and take that design, make, build philosophy and practice, and be able to benefit the multi-dwelling segment with that as well. That looks different, of course, in different areas of the globe.
Right.
So we've customized that and looking at different approaches there.
One of the things that's near and dear to my heart is offsite construction, industrialized construction. You mentioned the labor shortages and part of what's moving this whole industry forward towards more technology. What is happening in the offsite construction industry, the industrialized construction industry? Is it gaining traction? Are you seeing more of it today than you have in the past? And is it here to stay?
I believe so. And we are seeing a very strong presence there. And in fact, some coming to us saying, I want to start, expand my business. I was doing roof trusses and wanted to get into floors or something like that. And so there's definitely continued growth as well as opportunity in areas that are more stick frame and, being able to leverage the benefits of offsite. Still a lot of opportunity.
Are you seeing more wood, more steel, or is it kind of an even race?
Yeah, it varies by region. So more wood based in North America, and more steel in places like EMEA
Yeah.
and Australia.
Global market. Are you seeing a lot of European companies wanting to come here to the United States to do business using industrialized construction, modular panel, whatever the case is?
So in some cases, there are opportunities and companies in Europe, for example, providing automation solutions and equipment,
Mhm.
and they have quite a strength or see opportunity in North America, for example.
Yeah.
So there is some of that. Modular is an interesting industry, as you know, right now. There's been kind of fits and takes with that, certainly growing,
Sure.
certainly opportunity there. And we're looking at how we can help that market, not just in the technology, but in the methodology that can address some of the concerns that have been experienced in the past, and use that as an affordable way to grow, especially in multi-dwelling.
Can you let's jump into methodologies on this a little bit more, because that's really interesting, right? I don't hear that topic very often when we're talking about, helping others understand the methodologies and how that's going to help them. How is MiTek viewing that, and how is MiTek talking about those methodologies?
So we're looking into what are the challenges, right? What are the opportunities to kind of take that offsite type of mentality
Yeah.
and apply that to modular? Um, there's challenges there because you have such a large, massive, kind of advanced component,
Yeah.
right? So looking at how we can address those challenges in a way that still has the advantages of offsite, but also the reality of having such a large advanced component.
Yeah. Do you see kind of the traditional players making a move into the prefab space?
I think there's some of that. I haven't seen, just personally, like newer players. I
Yeah.
think we're all kind of looking at different ways that we can participate and expanding. We certainly see a lot of mergers and acquisitions and things like that with some of the larger players. So
So
yeah.
it's kind of I'm setting you up for another question.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, why would an established builder move into or try offsite? And then the other question on top of that would be, how does MiTek help solve for, the risk that might change that change might bring for them moving into the offsite space, and understanding, like you said, let's get back into the methodologies, the processes, the equipment, and all the things that you guys are pulling together. Are you taking a role, I guess, in helping companies move into that space?
Yeah, we are, Dave. So
Mhm.
one of the areas that we're building out more is providing consultancy, right? And that our field folks have been doing that already, and working with customers and providers that want to expand into offsite. We've been in that space for quite a while, and certainly see the benefits of different types of methodologies. And as we talked about earlier, we have a variety of different tools that can really wrap around that and provide holistic solutions rather than just saying, hey, use this nail plate, or hey, use this piece of automated equipment.
Right.
We can wrap around that and say, we have the digital solution to come around that with this equipment, using these plates and the services that know that, so we can really kind of help wrap our arms around and help
Sure.
those folks that want to expand. Definitely.
Everybody always wants to know, is offsite construction, prefab, industrialized construction cheaper? You know, with all the data collected and maybe some of the case studies that are out there, you know, does MiTek have the data to support, I guess, an answer one way or the other? And is MiTek willing to say one way or the other?
Yeah. So it's a great question, right? Because there's so many different constituents along that building path. And so if we look at it holistically, it's different than if one person just says, hey, I'm seeing it more expensive or less expensive. We've been doing what we call innovation builds with some customers that are looking at, let's build one that's stick frame right next to one that's using offsite. And we're seeing efficiencies, we're seeing less labor, we're seeing higher quality in some cases as well. So some of those benefits are definitely, some of them intangible, but some of them definitely tangible to be able to make those comparisons. And I think it varies from market to market.
Yeah.
As to how much of a savings and benefit it is, but we're definitely seeing that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And for somebody who doesn't really understand why it varies, I mean, just think about what the cost of living and the cost of labor is in LA versus, you know, central Pennsylvania, or, you know, somewhere where the cost of labor and the income isn't at as high of a level, I guess, to live. And that's really what you meant by that, I'm assuming.
Exactly. Yeah, labor varies quite a bit. And so places like Texas, where the labor market is just less expensive than it is in other places like Pennsylvania. Yeah,
for sure. What is it about MiTek that you want people to know that maybe we have not discussed on the show? Is there anything that maybe is a common misunderstanding?
Yeah, so I think most people, if they know MiTek, they know it as a connector plate provider, or they know it as, hey, I use their software, or, oh, that's the name that's on the side of my automation equipment. And so one thing that I love for people to understand is the value that MiTek brings holistically, to be able to provide a suite of solutions, not just in one area to address a very specific need, but to come alongside with different types of products and solutions and services that we can really be a partner for our customers and provide what's best for them.
So I love that. I mean, does somebody, if they want to use MiTek, do they need to use the entire suite of products that you guys offer to gain the benefits of the system, you know, or can they use bits and pieces? Can they grow into it? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. They can kind of go as you grow, right?
Yeah.
and start with, maybe we have some customers that only use our services because they need an extension of their workforce, right? There are some people that only use us in automation and use the plates, and then they find, oh, there's software that can come around this to make this much more efficient for me. So there's different kind of entry points, if you will, depending upon what the pressing need is. But we definitely, it can grow, and it can continue to kind of evolve as the customers grow.
Is MiTek, when they build out their solutions, technology, does it have the capability of integrating or working with other products that are out there?
Some of them do. So some of our software can also specify Simpson plates, for example, and and other pieces of automation equipment that can utilize our software. So there's a variety of different ways that they can mix and match. Certainly a benefit for customers if they use the whole thing. That's MiTek, but there's certain realities if they have equipment that they might not be able to afford to change out. We certainly want to still be able to work with them and provide other solutions. So yeah, absolutely.
So if somebody wants to work with MiTek or just wants to chit chat with Kristin, that's out there, right? For their own knowledge. In all seriousness, like somebody wants to work with MiTek, how does one go about doing that? Because I think a lot of people don't understand that you have all these services. Is there a process in place, or is it just reach out?
Yeah, just reach out. I mean, I'd love to talk with anyone. Can certainly get in touch with some of our folks that are out in the field. There's contact us on our website as you're showing, and we can get you in touch with someone that can come see your facility and be able to help with that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this is an awesome website. I wish I would have pulled it up a little bit sooner as we're going through it, but I mean, it really does. It goes through the products, the software, the automation, the services, all of that's on here.
Yeah, there's really so much that we provide, and it's really, you can mix and match and see what some of the benefits would be for you. Yeah.
My last question is this. So I'm a manufacturer owner. I'm looking to start a manufacturer, business. And I say to myself, listen, man, I really need something that helps me do this. Can I come to MiTek? Just like, remember the medical equipment? You mentioned the medical equipment. Right? As a doctor, they used to be able to go and say, hey, I need a special tool that can do this. Can MiTek help bring special tools to market if somebody needs the help and it makes sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So whether you have an idea that you've invented something that might have benefit, we get those types of inquiries all the time.
Right.
Or if there's a methodology or a larger type of system that you say, hey, this might be interesting and might be benefit, we'd love to talk with you about that. Definitely.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, Kristin, I appreciate it. I was putting some comments and up on the screen there so everybody can see it. Have we forgotten to talk about anything? I told you it'd be the fastest 40 minutes of your life. Is there anything that we didn't touch on? Anything you want to leave us with personally?
No, I think, Dave, this is such a great opportunity to really advance building. And so thank you for this time to be able to share, and look forward to working with more folks so MiTek can provide those advanced solutions for our customers.
Well, we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come on this show. Just so everybody knows, it's always invite only. So this isn't a MiTek paid programming or anything like that. So we're always grateful when senior people like yourselves take the time to talk to our audience out there on how we're going to continue to build it better. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I look forward to the comments and hearing more input as to what some of those needs and problems are that we want to solve.
Yeah, we're looking forward too. So, hey, if you're watching this live, go ahead and put any questions you have in there. We're about out of time right now. Or if you're watching it not live, put your comments and questions in. We're always watching, and we'll get you the answers and make sure that Kristin and MiTek or whoever needs to answer it knows that you asked that question and get right back to you. And for the rest of you out there, we're going to be live on Wednesday. That's right. Join us this Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then again on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern for BS Friday. And it's not the BS you hear at the bar. It's the building science BS. That's what we're talking about. We love BS. So join us Friday at 1 o'clock. Kristin, don't go anywhere. You stay right there. I'll come back to you after the outro. And for the rest of you out there, hey, make sure you thank these sponsors as well. It takes everybody to help us continue what we do it here at Dave Cooper Live, and we appreciate all of your support all the time. Thanks for watching. What an amazing show. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us to continue to bring all of these innovative conversations to all of you out there. Please visit them, see what they have to offer you. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. It would mean the world to us. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.